Hello guys, and welcome to another First Impressions video, and today I will be talking about Metroid Dread, and this might actually be my game of the year, and one of my favorite Switch games of all time, because this feels really good. It's just like, almost everything about this game is just really good, there's really no drawbacks or anything kind of like hurting this game. I mean, it is very difficult, but I argue that that's actually a good thing. Like, even though it's really difficult, there are a lot of save points, and it's easy to just go back and, like, defeat a boss again and go over and over again, or just go back through the E.M.M.I areas, and it just feels so good, and I'm glad it kind of has that system with saving and everything. It really wouldn't be fair if there was, like, less save points and less areas where you had to go back, but it just feels really fair and it feels really good. And just the exploration in this game feels expanded from the other Metroid games. It's just like, with all, like, the map is really easy to see since it's on the top corner there, and it's just really easy to go through the areas and find different things, and it feels really fluid going in between different places. You can get stuck sometimes, and it is hard find different things, but eventually if you're looking around and if you find like a certain thing, it's not too hard to traverse. Like, especially like when you discover like a new item or something like that, you can like unlock even more areas, which is really cool. I know the other Metroid games do that, but it just feels like even more expanded in this game, and it feels like it's more in-depth and more immersive. And also, on the topic of immersion, it also feels very cinematic too, especially with all of the cutscenes in the game. There's places in the game where you don't even expect the cutscene to happen. It just feels really, good, like seeing all of those different things play out. It feels like there's an actual story kind of going on, and you're actually kind of on an adventure. It just feels really nice seeing all of these like little short cutscenes and little areas where you go through different places. And it's just like, the presentation for this game is amazing, and it's just like, not just with like the cutscenes and different cinematics, it just also, like, the overall graphics and backgrounds just look amazing. Like, I mean, they don't look perfect. I know, like, a lot of people are saying, like, it kind of looks subpar, but I'd have to disagree with that. I mean, I feel like a lot of realistic graphics have lowered some people's expectations of Switch games, but I'd have to say the backgrounds in this game look really good. They basically look like a big step up from even Samus Returns, which had pretty good visuals on the 3DS. And it's just like, all these different areas feel alive, and it just, not really like the other Metroid games. I mean, it did have that feeling, but this game really amplifies that feeling, and you get really a true sense that it's a living and breathing world that you're kind of walking through. And it just also feels like that in kind of a different way in the E.M.M.I zones. It really feels like, in the E.M.M.I zones, it's kind of silent with like a lot of the beeping sounds and kind of like the ambiance of E.M.M.I and everything around you, and it just gives you a sense of dread, and it's just such a good feeling. Like, it's like, when an E.M.M.I is coming towards you, you start to feel kind of like stressed out, and it's just like, it feels so good just trying to run away, and then you get out of the E.M.M.I zone, and it just, I really like that feeling. And with the improved movement in this game, it just feels really nice kind of slipping around the different areas and using that new slide mechanic, which is really nice. And it just feels really good when you're running away from the E.M.M.I and everything, and just traversing the worlds overall. And overall, I just have to say that this is my favorite movement out of any 2D game. Like, it just feels really good. There's a lot of different moves, and you just unlock more and more moves as you would in any Metroid game, but your moveset in this game just feels so good, and it just feels so good to move around, and it just keeps you engaged with this game. Even though it's challenging, you just want to come back to this game over and over again, or at least that's how I felt. And I've just really been enjoying this game. There's a lot of different things, like even the story elements are really good in this game. I know Metroid doesn't always have like the best stories compared to like other games, especially like RPGs, but um Metroid does have somewhat of a story, and it does kind of. I feel like the story in this game is a little more fleshed out than it is in other Metroid games, especially because of that intro sequence, kind of recapping the other Metroid games, and then the cutscenes, and then the different backgrounds of the different places and everything. It just really feels like it's more immersive and everything with this game, and I'm just really looking forward to playing more of this game. So far, I recently just defeated Kraid, which was actually a pretty hard boss fight, though, like, once you get the pattern down, it's actually not too hard. I feel like most of the boss fights in this game so far, including the mini bosses, are kind of like that. Like, you kind of have to get a pattern down, and it's like really difficult at first, but then once you get like the first phase down and then the second phase down, it's actually not too hard to defeat the boss. But just overall, this game is great, and I definitely recommend playing it so far, but don't take my word for it, because this is not an official review. My full review of the game is going to come after I beat it. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Twitter if you want to. Goodbye.